and Sean Puffy Combs. The first source I'm going to bring you is by People. Thank you for joining me. Hope you all are well. Be safe out there shopping, everybody. Where is Kirk Burrowes now inside the Bad Boy co-founder's life years after accusing coercion and other situations? Okay. Sean Diddy Combs co-founded Bad Boy Entertainment with Kirk Burrowes in 1993. The co-founder has sued Combs twice for allegedly forcing him to give up ownership of the company. In 2025, Burrowes accused the rapper of sexual harassment, abuse, and physical abuse. When Kirk Burrowes and Sean Diddy Combs formed Bad Boy Entertainment in the 1990s, it quickly garnered a reputation for launching legendary artists like the Notorious B.I.G., but in the decades since, insiders like the former co-founder have exposed a much darker side of the hip-hop empire. With Sean, sometimes you're humiliated, Burrowes said in Netflix's Sean Combs' The Reckoning. Sometimes you're made an example of. Sometimes violent things happen to you. Through the years, a lot of bad things happened to force him to sign over his 25% ownership stake in Bad Boy Entertainment. He was later allegedly fired for declining to alter Biggie's contract to the company's advantage. Burrowes said in The Reckoning that he was blacklisted in the industry for the next 25 years. Have been repeatedly thrown out of court over the past 30 years. So where is Kirk Burrowes now? Here's everything to know about his life in 30 years after forming Bad Boy Entertainment with Sean Diddy Combs. Burrowes co-founded Bad Boy with Combs in the 1990s. Combs and Burrowes co-founded the music label Bad Boy Entertainment in 1993. The company's creation came 2 years after 9 people died in a stampede during a celebrity basketball game that the I'll Be Missing You rapper had organized, CNN reported. Combs allegedly gave his mother Janet 75% of the company in stock and Burrowes the remaining 25% to avoid being held financially responsible for the tragedy. So now we have to ask, whoever hosted it, you understand what I'm saying? They still could sue the company even though you've given your stake over to your mother, allegedly, and the 25% to Kirk. The chief operating officer, general manager, and president, according to his 2025 complaint. In February of 2025, Burrowes filed a lawsuit against Combs, accusing him of years of alleged predatory actions that included subjecting him to repeated sexual harassment, physical aggression, and forced compliance with degrading sexual acts. The former Bad Boy Entertainment COO claimed that he was forced to witness nudity, sexual overtones, voyeurism, and acts of exhibitionism during what he believed to be business meetings. According to the complaint, the alleged harassment occurred during 1992 and 1994 and escalated to physical coercion and forced submission, as well as alleged sexual abuse between 1995 and 1996. Are these allegations true? Sean Combs, did you abuse your so-called friend and co-partner of Bad Boy Entertainment? The alleged 1996 baseball bat incident was included in his complaint, as well as a separate suit Burrowes filed in 2003. However, that case was dismissed. Why was it dismissed? Because it came too late? He filed a lawsuit too late? Why was it dismissed? Just curious. He also separately filed a complaint against Janice, claiming that she knowingly participated in the fraudulent scheme to obtain 100% control of Bad Boy Entertainment, and that she carefully maintained a facade of integrity. Sorry about that. I'm buffering everybody. Sorry about that. According to court documents, Burrowes accused Combs of forced coercion that resulted in him losing his 25% stake in the company. The rapper go to an and force your friend to sign over his 25% with a baseball bat. You couldn't just ask him, hey, I'd like to buy your 25%. I'd like to buy your remaining portion of the company. We were friends. And what we've heard from Mr. Gene Deal, I'm going to play that a little bit later. You two were lovers. What was the real reason for the 25%? You wanted him out. You wanted to be done with him. And what's crazy, we hear Kirk still stayed around after this baseball incident. Stay woke, everybody. Burrowes claimed he complied and signed away ownership without receiving any financial compensation. He also alleged that Combs took active measures to erase his contributions at Bad Boy Entertainment per the filing. Such as what? See, this is what I don't understand about the situation. These coercions with these men, as I had stated to y'all in my last live about Lil Rod. I'm trying to understand how you as a man can be coerced into anything. Sexual, financial, how? Why? This would lead me to believe that you all were having sex with Sean and you were possibly in some type of sexual relationship, courtship, to feel the need to hang on for dear life and then bring forward civil allegations that this man, Puffy, has done something to you sexually, coerced you into things. It's odd to me. These are the type of claims you get from women, not men, just saying. Though he continued working at Bad Boy Entertainment, after losing his ownership stake, Burrowes claimed he was eventually fired for opposing Combs. He alleged in the Netflix docuseries that while the Notorious B.I.G.'s contract was being renegotiated shortly before the rapper's 1997 murder, the Bad Boy founder instructed him to secretly swap out pages of the signed agreement to better favor the company. So what is that exactly? What is it that you swapped out to favor the company? I'm curious. Burrowes said he refused. So now we hear he said he refused, okay? And was fired 90 days later. In his 2025 lawsuit, he accused Combs of post-termination harassment and blacklisting up until 2022. For 25 years, I was basically blacklisted and banned, he said in the reckoning. Next thing you know, shelters, homelessness. According to the complaint, Combs would personally contact industry executives to warn them against working with Burrowes. During his time at Bad Boy Entertainment, Burrowes took meticulous daily notes on the company's activities. Those journals included not only the budget, but a lot of what the COO needed to do to help Combs in his personal life. He had maybe 30 boxes of those journals, the reckoning director, Alexandra Stapleton, told to them in December 2025. We pulled them out of storage and one of my producers literally took them to her place and we just scanned and scanned and scanned and scanned. After allegedly being blacklisted from the music industry, Burrowes told Tudum that he shifted to TV and film work, including launching his own company, Pop Life Entertainment. According to his LinkedIn profile, he launched a company in 2018 in New York and has served as the chief executive officer since. I'm back, stronger than ever, with incredible stories to tell and the infrastructure to make them real, he told the outlet. This moment, this platform is something far greater. It is my opportunity to finally speak my truth. Guided and empowered by my Lord and Savior, I remain steadfast. Burrowes added, the battle is not over, but neither am I. If you need a source for this information, this is People. Well, let me help you out, Mr. Luigi. Hold on, everybody, because I don't got time for no nonsense today. Welcome to the Law Itself. I bring you this commentary because I just watched a video with Mr. Gene Deal, who worked security for Sean Puffy Combs many years ago. And Gene Deal was supposed to work on this project, The Reckoning, but he and the director had a difference of opinions due to pay. Now, I have brought you information saying that no one was paid to do the documentary, but we have Mr. Gene Deal telling another version that, hey, he was trying to get paid and that he had a portfolio to show what he should be paid and what other entities would offer to pay for him to speak about this crazy nonsense pertaining to Sean. In the end, this is a money-making business. TV, film, documentaries. And the director, she knows this. You're expected to get paid. And I get it, maybe you feel like it'd be more authentic not to pay the people in the documentary so people don't think people are just making up things for money. But the point is, you didn't do this documentary for free. And you were expected to get some payment from the documentary, the views, 50 Cent as well. Now we're hearing information that 50 Cent did not have any creative control over the documentary and what was put in it. A lot of things Gene Deal wanted to mention was not mentioned, such as things about Kim Porter, the business, the people who were uh, mistreated by Sean, deaths, just different things he learned and watched and saw. What is the truth? Why did you get rid of Mr. Burrowes, Sean? Were you having an affair with him? What is it really about? Is it just about the lawsuits from that basketball stampede where 9 people died, 9 kids died, or young people died? You didn't want anyone suing you. That's why you gave your mother 75% of the company, 25% to Mr. Kirk, but then later you go run up on him with a bat. When I saw Mr. Kirk's photograph about a week or so ago, the first thing I thought of, and this is not to be disrespectful, but it's just my thought process. I was wondering if he was either a drug user or a homosexual. Now, some would say, damn, Queen, that's harsh. No. Don't misunderstand what I'm trying to say here. I'm good at reading people, even if I have never sat in a room with them, talked to them. A photograph can tell you a lot about a person. And yes, you can be misguided in what you're seeing in the photograph, okay? But my assumption was that perhaps this man is or was a user on drugs. Maybe he always have been thin, or he was sickly. Those are the things that went through my mind when I first saw a photograph of him. And then all of a sudden I stumbled upon this a week later with Mr. Gene Deal's commentary about Kirk and Puffy. And we all know that Mr. Gene Deal has a lot of stories to tell because he worked with this man. And when people work closely with you, they will have stories about you and things to tell, things they hear, things they see. I'm not here to say that everything is the truth, not the truth. I'm just saying he's probably witnessed a lot of information. And we're going to play some of that commentary. I think that maybe there was more going on between Kirk and Sean. Sean has been known to be a homosexual, bisexual, and I think he covered up his actual preference by being with women, procreating children. And a lot of men have done it. I think all along, Sean has liked men. He just never came out the closet. But when you hear from Mr. Gene Deal, he said the rumor was already circulating back in the day of him doing misdeeds with men. There was a rumor about him and Kirk circulating around, okay? And that's what's so interesting is that these men will continue to work with Sean, hearing these said rumors of him being with men, which I find interesting. But maybe the security and other people feel like, well, it ain't my business. I don't care. I don't got proof. I'm trying to get paid. I'm trying to get my name in the business. So what do I care if he's screwing men? You have a point. But the one thing we've learned about life is that certain things you can be around and in the midst of can cause problems down the road. And this is the reason why you're having all these wild ass stories and tales about Sean. And most of them are negative. Most of them are negative. They are not positive. Beating up people, coercion, blackmail, threatening people, there's nothing positive about that. There's nothing positive. And you saw that with the trial. All these different men and women with stories. And I'm also going to bring you information about Cassie Ventura. She's being sued by one of the men that she was entangled with in the freak-offs. This is a story that is never going to die down. This man is locked up, yet we are still talking about him and still hearing things about Sean Puffy Combs. Hello, Zenobia. Thank you for joining me. It don't even stop with him being incarcerated. Once again, 45 years ago today, John Lennon was assassinated on a public street in New York City. 45 years ago today. Let's hear what Mr. Gene Deal has to say about this Kirk Burrowes and Sean Puffy Combs nonsense. Art of Dialogue is the source of this information.
She'll love Kirk Burrowes. Bruh, Kirk Burrowes was the perfect bad boy. I met Kirk, because calling it so I could do security for him or whatever like that. It went like I wouldn't do security unless Puff called me himself. But then he said, yo, let Kirk, because I don't know my schedule, Gene, I don't know what I'm going to do. Let Kirk, you know what I'm saying, call you and let you know what schedule I have if you can do security for me on those days. Now, I told Diddy at the time, yo, man, I don't want nobody to know anything, so if anything happens, you don't know me, all right? I told him that. Just like that. If anything had to go down, you don't know me. And I was saying that in the sense whereas that if anything had to go down and shit like that, let the people do their own homework. Don't give them my name up and everything like that. Anybody could tell them like that if you are doing security for a dude of that caliber. So now, Kirk Burrowes, me and Puff, for some odd reason, after the red zone, because Puff used to do, they didn't talk about this, he used to do the building, Daddy's house, whereas that unsigned rappers, unsigned artists would rap at this place, and it was called the building on Monday nights. Then he would do the red zone on Wednesday. I would have to go with him and make sure that he was all right and take the money to Kirk Burrowes' house after the red zone. But I didn't think nothing at the time. At that time, I didn't think nothing of it, that he was spending the night with Kirk Burrowes either every Wednesday night. He got a whole girl at home, but he's spending the night with Kirk Burrowes. He's staying at Kirk's house. Yo, all right, cool. Didn't think nothing of it. And then Kirk had made a mention to some people over the years that him and Puff used to wake up and pray together. And in my mind, I know he's talking about saying prayers and all that shit like that. But in my other mind, I'm thinking some, you waking up with a dude praying? Shit is going on. Then there was a situation that somebody said a long time ago in the office, they caught Kirk giving Puff a fellatio in the office. Now that was the rumor that was going around. How true it is?
Did Puffy perform sexual acts in the office when he was working Bad Boy Entertainment? Did he perform sexual acts with Kirk Burrowes at the office? Were they lovers? Once again, why did he fire Kirk Burrowes? Because he went against him as far as policies, Biggie's contract. He was trying to make it to where it favored them, change the contracts that was actually signed by Biggie. Now, once again, the estate for Biggie Smalls says everything was on the up and up before Biggie died. Contract stood, he was making a profit, he paid all monies due and owed to the company. What is the truth? Are we going to find out that Sean went in and did some finagling pertaining to this estate manager with all this he said, she said? Did he do any coercion from behind bars? Don't say this, don't tell this. My thing is, I wouldn't be afraid of him because, what did I tell you? I'm free like OJ. I ain't worried about Puff Daddy. I wouldn't say, make up anything. Tell the truth. So I don't really know what was going on behind closed doors with this Biggie contract business, royalties, things like that. But I do know his mother turned a profit on his behalf. I read that last night before her death. He was estimated at $10 million and it upped to 160 million his estate. Biggie Smalls. It's all a bunch of nonsense. This man won't go away for nothing because people keep talking about him. And I'm doing it too. Well, now.
They was lovers. It came out in his lawsuit. It came out in his lawsuit. He tried to say that Puff was, what he said, sexually assaulting him. But if somebody sexually assaulted you, how you let them come stay at your house every Wednesday night?
Exactly.
After the club.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were boyfriends, you know. I think, my honest opinion, I think Kirk was in love with Puff to a certain degree.
Hello.
And Puff was using him. And Kirk was giving up the vagina to him. Anything Puff asked him to do, he would do it. You know, he'd go at people, he'd talk shit. Kirk would talk shit to you on the behalf of Puff. And I believe that was his man to a certain degree in his mind. And the way he was saying shit on that documentary, you could feel that they had a relationship. He was hurt behind being Justice's godfather. He allowed Puff to tell him that he was caught up with Lisa and everything like that. He believed all this. That's what I got out of it. I don't know what you and other people got out of it. He was saying like he was a scorn lover. But how did you find out that he gave Diddy fellatio? You know where they came from? Well, we heard that a long time ago. Like when I was working for Bad Boy. I heard that a long time ago I worked for Bad Boy that Kirk was caught up giving them the fellatio in the office. And they got rid of one of the interns for walking in on him or something like that. You understand? But then Kirk come out in this documentary, in this lawsuit, and say he was giving Puff was making them giving them fellatios and the vagina. That's it.
Where Kirk made a mistake was mixing business with pleasure. And we've learned with friends, associates, family, you can't do business, you can't mix money. I think most of you know this. That's number one. Number two, you can't be having sex with somebody you're involved with in a company, a business. That usually don't work. Because you're starting off as friends, allegedly. And see, for all we know, these two could have been F-buddies before starting this Bad Boy Entertainment, but nobody knew. And the one thing we've learned about life, what's done in the dark will surely come to light. Both of you walking around perpetrating that you ain't homosexuals, bisexuals, somebody gonna find out. And we have learned that Sean, obviously, is very overt with his sexuality, touching, groping, allegedly. He likes to fondle people, touch people. So hell no, he don't mind having sex in the office. He wouldn't care if he was in there effing a dog. And I've already said that's the only thing you ain't heard that he's done is have sex with an animal and unalive somebody. And possibly has unalived somebody. He probably has had sex with animals. I must say it. Because all the things that you've heard, those are things two things left you haven't heard in the trial, in all these stories from all these different ass people. Because it ain't nothing left to do. You blackmail, hurt people, drag people, pull out hair, beat up people. Ain't nothing left to do but have sex with an animal and unalive a human. Checkmate. Was he having sex with Kirk when they had the company together? Were they lovers? Did they come to the table as lovers? Because what did I always tell everybody? You want the truth? The truth is at the beginning of the story. Stay woke. Not the documentary, not the lawsuits, civil lawsuits, not the trial. It's the beginning. How he came to be known as Puffy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs. how he came to the table in the beginning, how he got in the industry with Uptown Records, his roles in the company, how he came to get Bad Boy with this Kirk Burrowes. I won't doubt he was screwing Kirk before you even knew his name, before he was an alleged great producer, music producer. He's been a homosexual. Stay woke. People whispering because people notice things. And who notice more about people? Women. Women know when they're around a feminine man. And if you go back and look at some of the photos that have resurfaced over the years pertaining to this fool, a lot of his pictures, Sean looks feminine. Young, yes, and feminine, yes. This joker came to the table feminine. But people went along, tucked their tail between their legs and just did what they do. Ride that donkey ride. Sick. Very sick information.
That's in his lawsuit. But I guess if Cassie is a scorn lover, Kirk has the right to be a scorn lover too.
Zenobia said yes, he did.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of them worked for him. Both of them was on the payroll, right? So I think Kirk was a scorn. Kirk, he do, and people knew this back in the day. He was 25% of Bad Boy. He did start Bad Boy. He did help grow Bad Boy, the artist, get the money, do all the things that he said. As far as the business part of it,
Mm-hmm.
Kirk did everything he was supposed to do for the business part of it. But he still was Puff lover. He still was Puff lover. He know that.
Mm. Wow.
And he was his employee. I guess you can't have your lover working for you.
All the dialogue, everybody. Let's read some of the comments under this commentary. KTT or KT Thomas says, this is why Gene was needed in that documentary. He can make his own or just pull all his art or dialogue full interviews in a playlist. Gene did a 4-part documentary here on YouTube regarding the final days of Biggie's life. This would be a great time to get someone to fund it on a much bigger platform. It's just Gene speaking about what he personally witnessed, and I don't know how anyone can walk away from it without thinking Diddy was behind his demise. Gene has been telling us for decades. Yeah, he would have put that doc on a whole other level. Gene Deal told Netflix he wanted 50 bands, and Netflix told him take a hike, laughing my A off. Yes, Gene Deal wanted money. He feels like probably a lot of people. I'm not just going to keep talking, spinning the story, spinning the same information over and over again on my platform, different people's platform. Pay me. Because in the end, he does have a point. These people are making money. 50 Cent, this lady, the director, whomever. Obviously, Gene Deal and the director had issues about the money, him being paid this amount of money. They're saying they didn't pay anybody to do the documentary. The point is, you can't expect people to sit up and keep, regurgitating the same information over and over for free. It's just the way it is. Now, a lot of news broadcasts such as ABC, NBC, those entities, they don't pay people for interviews for the obvious reason. Because they don't want to hear people, saying once they find out they were paid, oh, well, they'll make up anything for a couple dollars. And people will. People lie for free. So they'll lie for money. But too many people have negative things to say about this man. And I'm not saying that some of this shit can't be exaggerated about Puffy. But from what I'm seeing about this joker, he's just not a nice guy. He puts on this hat for the public to make people think he's a nice guy, donating money, turkeys, all of those type of BS, holding parties. But he ain't the guy that people thought he was through the looking glass. And that's any of us. You can best believe somebody got a good story to tell about you, somebody got a bad story to tell about you. Because everything's about perception. And how you treat Susie over here, that ain't how you treat Bob over here. Vice versa. Everybody got something negative to say about something and someone. Lennox says, this whole Puffy story is disgusting and dark. How can one human create so much chaos? Because what you allow, he was put into this position to coerce, beat up people, lie, manipulate, steal, abuse. People do this every day. They're just not talked about on the news and YouTube videos. They're not going to court for crimes. This shit happens every day. You've seen it. You've seen it in high school. The popular guy, the popular girl, the mean girl. She's popular in school. Everybody likes her. She's pretty. She's smart, but she's probably a little bitch. She's bullying other girls, teasing other girls. Then these other girls jump on the bandwagon and ride the donkey ride and go along with whatever she says and does. It happens every day. Same thing with the popular guy in school, football player, basketball player. He's an ass. He's a bully. And then the other guys, they ride the donkey ride with him to do salacious things. It happens every day. And then these little bullies, they grow up to be bigger bullies. Or it could be the quiet kid who turns into a bully. And now they're an adult bully. And they're using and manipulating people. They're using their charm. So as I had said to you all yesterday in my commentary, you could be the janitor, the butcher, the candlestick maker. You can be a finesser. A finesser has to have this, the gift of gab. To know how to talk to people, know how to get under people to get what they want. People do this every fucking day, and they are not Sean Puffy Combs. Their name isn't Epstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Kevin Spacey. Do you understand what I'm saying? People want to be around popular people, wealthy people, people known for something, basketball, football, singing, dancing. Oh yeah, that's my friend, that's my homeboy, that's my cousin, that's my next door neighbor, but they ain't gonna tell everything. Oh, that's my neighbor. Oh yeah, he's a multimillionaire, he's a billionaire, he's this, but you may have heard some ugly stories about him, but you may not tell that part. Everybody has secrets. Everybody has done and said things that they know would not look good if it was ever repeated or recorded. People have done things they know they wouldn't ever want to come out to the light. Sean is that guy. He's just been doing it a mighty long time. I've always said he was a sadist from the beginning. Maybe people didn't know it until they got wrapped up with him. And that's the whole point of life. You don't really have a story to tell until you deal with people. It doesn't matter if it's Puffy or who it is. You got to deal with the person first to then come back and say, hey, this is what he said. This is what she said. This is how they treated me. This was my response. And it's up to you to decide if you believe it. Just like a lot of people have been saying about TV, the internet, it is who has the better version. Who has the better version for me to believe it? And that is what you're hearing right now about Sean, Cassie, Pookie, Ray Ray, Bubba. It's all the same. Do I believe this BS or I don't believe it? I won't doubt that there's some truth to what Mr. Gene Deal has said, because Gene has told a lot of stories that still line up to everything you're hearing about Sean. He's spending the night with men, going in men hotel rooms. He's the security guy. His eyes are wide open. His ears were wide open. He's going to see and hear stuff you were never going to hear and see. This guy's riding in the back of a limousine or a car. He's talking and blabbing his mouth. Gene Deal is hearing all of that. He's taking this man to different rooms and homes and houses, dropping him off, coming back to pick him up. You would have to question, why am I dropping off a grown man to another man's home or hotel room in the late hour? It ain't but 2 or 3 things you're doing. Money, drugs, or screwing. All of the above. He's been gay. Sean's been gay. When you go back to the trial, as somebody had said the other day in the commentary, and it kind of shook me when I heard it again. What type of man wants to rub semen on their body in a freak off? You might as well have been screwing the man. You're gonna watch a woman that you say you love screw different men, film them, and then tell her to go get his semen and bring it back to you and rub it on you. Huh? Who would even make up such disgusting information? This ain't even nothing you would make up. Now, you can make up anything about a person being gay, homosexual, but not talking about taking bodily fluids and rubbing it on the body. So if you can hear this in an open courtroom, you know damn well you can believe he was screwing his own partner. And I think it's strange that even Gene Deal hung on and worked for him, hearing the rumors that he gave, or even assuming in his head that Puffy was gay. Because a lot of straight men will be like, fuck this job. I ain't going to work for no punk. You got some guys who's straight gutter like that. They straight street. Nah, I ain't fucking around with no homosexual. I don't give a damn what he paying. But Gene may have felt like, fuck it, I need the money. I don't give a damn what he do. As long as he don't put his hands on me and he don't come on to me. This is some deep SHIT. And see, I can tell you now, Sean would love for Gene Deal to shut the fuck up. You can believe that. He wants Gene Deal to go away. Because he's telling everything and been telling everything. And this is what I told you. Who knows you better than the person that's right up under you 24/7? They picking you up, they dropping you off, they waiting on you. They sitting in your house waiting for you to get dressed, get ready, open doors, close doors. They're hearing all your little dirty conversations when you're mad, when you're happy, when you're sad. They can see all that. And obviously he's been telling people these stories. I wasn't on social media, like I said, back in the day, so I don't know what Gene Deal has told over the years and what anybody else has had to tell. I don't keep up with hip hop news and who shot JR. I wasn't buying the Source magazine and none of these hip hop XXX whatever. I wasn't buying none of that SHIT. I was into girly things, you know, home decoration, cosmopolitan glamour, things like that. I ain't give a damn about what Biggie Smalls was doing and what Tupac was doing. I got the news when it hit the news. Person alive, person dead, person sick. I wasn't into that. And let me make this clear to some of you who keep up with all this nonsense. You can't get mad at us because we didn't know what the fuck was going on in the hip hop industry or Hollywood or New York. A lot of us had lives and we were living our best life. We weren't concerned about what Biggie Smalls and Tupac and all these rappers were doing. You didn't know they was doing this? Just like somebody commented under one of my shorts. Sean was controlling this woman and that's why 50 Cent mad. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what none of these people have been doing. I'm just bringing you the latest news. Common sense should tell you Queen ain't losing no sleep at night about nothing going on with Tupac, Puffy, Mr. Kirk, Cassie, nobody. I got my own drama. You feel me? I got my own SHIT to fool with. The point is, this man has hurt people. He has manipulated people. He has used people. And there are a lot of people walking around like him. I know people like Sean. Everything's okay so long as they can get something from you. Your time, you listening to their BS, sex, money, a ride, it don't matter. You can manipulate people for the smallest of things, such as a cup of sugar. Do you see where I'm going with this? You don't know somebody similar to Sean because there are all type of manipulators and crooks. You got your thief that steals big boy money, Ponzi schemes, the person boosting out of Walmart, people that write bad checks. The person that begs every day for shampoo, sugar, garbage bags, laundry detergent. Do you see where I'm going with this? It takes all kinds. Anybody can be finessed. Where I moved from, those people were nothing but finessers and liars, manipulators, drug addicts, drunks, always needing something, always begging for something, always on the come up. Always got a story to spin. Woe is me. Two people I've dealt with recently, always crying and moaning. Got a story to tell. Why they doing me? Why my life like this? Because you are your problem. Just like Sean being in this drama with all these people, prostitutes, Cassie, different women, assistants, musicians. Everybody got a story to tell, and it ain't positive. Everybody feels duped and manipulated and used by Sean Puffy Combs. And I ain't sitting here believing that they're all lies. The point is how long you stayed for the ride. That's where you have to take responsibility to say, I don't like how I'm being treated. And I get it. When you have signed a contract, you are obligated to fulfill your part of the deal. And that's where a lot of these people fucked up that was wrapped up with him musically. They signed contracts. So they had to sit and listen at this MF, call them names and talk down to them. And, oh, you gained a little weight. Hey, you too fat. Da-da-da-da-da. I'd have told him, let me tell you something, bro. I ain't signed up for this. So you can take my name off that contract. I'm not going to sell my soul to the devil to work for you, dance for you, and do nothing. But when you're thirsty and you're hungry, you put up with BS to stay afloat. People do it every day. You get yourself put in a bind. That is when people talk down to you and use you and manipulate you. Do you see where I'm going with this? And some of you probably could spin the story yourself. Maybe you was in a bad situation. You didn't have no money. You didn't have no job. So now you're asking your sister, your brother, your grandmama, your mama for money. Well, this is when people decide they want to start talking crazy to you. They want to start talking down to you. Oh, you a misfit. You ain't got your life together. Why you keep begging? Why you keep coming around? Why I'm always got to pay your bills, give you money? People do it all the time. They're just not famous. Maybe not wealthy. Any of us can be finessed. Some of us are finessers. I know I could bat my lash and have bat my lash many times to get what I wanted. Hell yeah. I'm a woman. Say whoa. But this right here, this is some different type of nonsense and foolery. You're talking about violating bodies, violating spirits. That ain't the same as winking your eye and saying, hey, I need a new flat screen. I need a new ring. I need some jewelry. I need some furniture. Hey, I need some groceries in my refrigerator. We're talking about violation. That's totally different. Drugging people, putting drugs in their drinks and asking them, saying, here, pop this pill, you'll feel better. Here, take this, you'll feel better. Oh, no. That's totally different. You're taking finesse to a whole nother level. This is where coercion comes in. You trying to get something to benefit yourself sexually. Taking pictures and videos of a person conked out, you having sex with them performing sexual acts on you. No. You want some other SHIT, some nasty SHIT, okay? Sean is nasty. And this new information that I just heard today about one of those sex workers wanting to sue Cassie for not telling him that she was pregnant and giving him a disease. Let me talk about that, then I'm gonna check on out here. You didn't think about suing her when you allegedly got the disease. Your wee chafing, skin peeling from jacking off, whatever the hell you're talking about, that sounds stupid too. You touching yourself is on you. If you are willing to take money from Sean Puffy Combs and her, Cassie, in exchange for sex, why would I sit here and think you weren't selling your body to somebody else? Don't come to this playground trying to make people believe, oh, I only did that type of work with them. No, babe, I wasn't born yesterday. You sell your body over here, you'll sell your body over there. If you slept with her without a condom, you sleeping over here without a condom. So how you gonna prove she gave you a disease? What was so special about her that you said, I ain't gonna put no condom on? This don't even make no sense. You slept over here without a condom, you sleeping over here without a condom. And you also probably selling your wee to the highest bidder. And then you gotta prove she gave you a disease. And naturally, you go in the court of law, you're gonna have to tell everybody you were having sex with without a condom. Your girlfriend, whomever, stop this nonsense. You sound like a damn fool. Because if it was important years ago when your wee was chafing and you was coming up short downtown, you would have went and got documentation and you would have got a lawyer and sued her then. Hey, I believe you gave me a disease. And then you gotta ask yourself, were you still going back screwing her after your wee was looking raw down there? Stop this foolishness. See, this is what happens. And I knew this was gonna happen with Cassie when she decided to tell her truth in court, pregnant and all. You telling people, oh, I was getting infections and this, that, and the other. No, you're gonna probably have to tell the truth. You use a quieter word for infections, bacteria, no, diseases. They're called diseases. But you don't want to say that in court. But them 12 members of the jury and the people listening, they know better. You're probably getting urinary tract infections. You're probably getting diseases. And you getting them because one, you sleeping with a whore. And then I believe you were dilly-dallying with other men too. Because you did say you were going back and forth between Kid Cudi and Sean. And more than likely when you were sleeping with Kid Cudi, you weren't using nothing. Then you got to count where the fuck Kid Cudi was screwing. I'm woke. See, let me tell you something. When you go in the health department in the little room to get your little girly checkups, they got a poster on the wall. And it's got a stick figure at the top. That's you. Then the stick figure goes down to 63, throwing out a number. At the bottom of those stick figures, it says, you just slept with 63 people last night. Stay woke, everybody. Okay? You the stick figure at the top, and the stick figure goes down in a pyramid. You slept with one man, woman last night, but you don't know who all they slept with, and who those people slept with, who those people slept with. So you don't know where you got something from and where they got it from. Now, naturally, you watching your kitty cat and your wee, you know, okay, well, I only slept with one guy last night this week, and then you come up short 7 days later, and you can say, well, I slept with Paul, and I didn't have nothing downtown until I slept with him. Okay, well, you could pinpoint him, but then too, you don't know how many people Paul slept with. But you do know, okay, I slept with Paul. But if you're sleeping with Paul and Bob and Tim in the same week, you got a problem. Because now you got to call all three and say, well, I came up short and I don't know, but I know I slept with you. And then he going to say, well, I ain't got nothing. And men usually don't have symptoms. Let me make that clear for those of you who don't know. Men usually go asymptom. They don't have no symptoms when they catch trichomonas and things like that. So the woman is the one walking around with the discharge. He still throwing the D out there because he being a man. And he ain't got no symptoms. Yes, very true. Spiritual character, ties, and diseases, exactly. And people don't think about that when you out there sleeping with people and you doing all these nasty things with men and women behind closed doors. You're right. You tying that soul, that spirit right into yours. And it comes with a cost. Oh, Queen could definitely testify about that. You getting yourself tied up with these monkeys out here in these streets, and them demons, they bringing all that mojo with them. That's drama. God forbid you come up short. Hey, you said that right, Lisa. And that's really what you're hearing pertaining to Sean Combs. He's a bad omen. He has a bad spirit. He's the walking dead. And everybody that has come in contact with Sean got a story to tell. And that Misa Hilton, she trying to play crazy like he's been a saint and Jesus Christ superstar. Girl, stop that BS. Ain't nobody stupid. Stop these games. You don't want to tell the truth that Sean has probably knocked you around a couple times and called you bitches and whores because you want to stay in his grace so you can still get a couple of thousand over here and there in your bank account. Who you fooling? This goes to why Sean has been able to manipulate and con people for years. It's because of the money and the clout, what he can do for you. But any woman can tell the truth, and man, Sean ain't no different than a bum on the street. A user, crackhead, meth head, drive-by shooter. He's heartless. Do you understand? He's heartless. And just like somebody said, if Sean had never became famous, he would be doing the same damn thing. He would be doing the same damn thing. If he was a janitor, truck driver, he would be beating up women, calling them names, wanting to film them, wanting them to bring in another party. He'd be swinging, going to sex parties with different people, swapping lovers, wives, husbands, all of that. And people are doing it now, and they're not famous. Open relationships. It's sickening. And see, you have to be careful the people you fool with, because as somebody said in the chat, Lisa, you are carrying them demons around with you. That bad mojo, that bad energy. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. See, everybody that's dealt with Sean and has decided to come out and tell their story, they still carrying that shit around because they talking about it. And you still opening up Pandora's box by talking about this food. And that one white girl from Danity Kane, I think she don't really want to talk about it because I think there's more than went on between she and Sean. She don't want to put it on paper. That's her business. That's her choice. Because everybody ain't the type to tell all their secrets. And I understand that. Some people, you know, they want to hold something to the vest. They don't want to tell all their dirty business. And I get that. Because everything ain't meant to be told. Because all that shit Cassie told in the court was quite right disgusting. And she did ride that monkey ride. Now, 50 Cent said she was a victim because she was 18. But see, the one thing people don't really want to understand even about Cassie is that 18 or not, Cassie was with a whole nother man when she met Sean. Oh, did you forget about that part? So it ain't like she was clueless to finessing. She was with a whole nother man when she met Puffy. That man knew Puffy. She did not. So how do you get tangled up with Puffy from that dude? And when you talk to that dude, his interview, he's very eloquent and says, you know when to fold and leave well enough alone. You damn right. He realized, okay, she over here with him. I guess I'm out. I ain't gonna chase her. Let the chips fall where they may. So you can quit acting like Cassie didn't know right from wrong. She knew to go fuck another man while she had a man and jumped in bed with another man. That don't sound like somebody green to me. And I'm not trying to dismiss how Puffy treated her. But the point is, you got to call a spade a spade. She wasn't that green. Because when we look back in the book of life, Cassie was going from one man to the other that was affiliated with Puffy. They were not men out here in the street that she met at the coffee shop. Every story told in that courtroom was affiliated with Puffy. Kid Cudi, she met Kid Cudi through Puffy. The guy she was with originally was known to Puffy, and then she started dating Puffy. The guy she's married to now, the white man, that was Puffy's exercise person, trainer. Pay attention. Pay attention. You have to own the role you play, okay? That girl could have left him, but she didn't. She stayed wanting this career that never took off and went a damn place. And if you look at all these people tied up with Puffy, the only one I would say that was really successful was Biggie Smalls. And just like somebody said on TV the other day, Puffy ain't really been doing shit since around 2013-14 as far as musically. He's marketing himself with other ventures, liquor, clothes, this, that, movies, films. Because he realized, I'm burning bridges with these musicians. He knows. They tired of my shit. I can't control everybody. Think about it. Why hasn't he done anything musically with other artists? You're a producer, so why aren't you producing? Because you've burned bridges. And you trying to control people, use them, steal from them, rob them, put your hands in their kitty cat and woo-woos and wah-wahs. That shit gonna get mighty old. And look where it landed him. In federal court. Because see, God don't like ugly. And although he did not go down for the other charges, he's still incarcerated. And that's what God was trying to tell him. I got a place for you because you don't know how to act. You don't know how to cooperate. You don't know how to integrate with people because you are a user, manipulator, and I'm going to put you somewhere with your kind. You want to hang around a bunch of men and bump butts with men and ding-dongs? I'm going to put you in the prison because that's where you want to be. See, I'm woke. Ain't none of you seeing the bigger picture. God gave Puffy what he wanted. You've been wanting to come out the closet, but you knew how it would look to others and people would judge you. I got you now where you can do what you want. Wide open. Now, as for Kirk Burrowes, I believe some hanky-panky probably was going on between him and Puffy. I won't doubt they were lovers before Bad Boy Entertainment was ever invented by the two. I think what he did to Kirk was salacious because more than likely they were having sex and things jumped off. He didn't want to do what Puffy wanted him to do as far as Biggie Smalls and the contracts and other things. He became dead weight. So Puffy got rid of him. So you were a fool to still work for him when he approached you with that baseball bat. You should have whooped his ass when he approached you with the bat. It should have been survival of the fittest. You should have told that EMF, I was here with you when you had nothing. I was your friend when you had nothing. And you ain't gonna come to me with no baseball bat and threaten me to give over 25%. Oh, I'd have whooped Puffy's ass. And as my mama used to say when I was growing up, you can't fight him, you pick something up and beat the hell out of him. You should have fought him like a man. And if you lost, then you lost, but they would have known you was in the room. That's why you know it's more to it than the 25%. You should have folded and took him to court right after. I was threatening coerced to give my 25% up. And Puffy's so low down, he would have signed his name on the document any damn way. Because he's a finesser, he's a cheater, he's a fraudster. He'd have got Kirk out the way, one way or the other. I think Sean has slept with a whole lot of men. And naturally, they ain't getting ready to come out because they don't want the repercussions of telling they gay too. And Marlon Wayans, we're going to talk about your ass too. Understandably, I heard information today on YouTube. You probably a little sugary too. That's why you advocating for P. Diddy. Telling 50 he shouldn't kick a man while he down. Oh, he's doing his time. God had made sure he go to prison. Let it go. Huh? Who are you advocating for? People are still talking about this Negro. Still trying to sue him, trying to get them some money too, yeah. Because he's been a nasty bird. You should have just stayed quiet. For all I know, he's been hugging you around the damn neck. Shut up, Angela. Just be quiet. Ray J too. Just be quiet. Stevie J. See, Stevie J been real quiet. I ain't heard nothing from that Negro. I won't doubt they were bumping butts too. And Ray J, you know people probably thinking the same about your black ass. You probably was bumping butts, but you got bigger fish to fry because you was on a video waving a gun around with your ex-wife, baby mama, and child. So you best be quiet too. I wouldn't say nothing about Puffy. Why do you think so many famous people have been quiet? Whether they went to an all-white party or not. And I'm not here to say that they were involved in any, hanky-panky sex, because I think he did all that shit after hours. The point is, many people don't want to be affiliated with what was told in court months ago. They don't want to be affiliated with that, and that is their right. Whether they participated in sexual acts with Puffy or not. I don't have to ride with the devil in public to appease you. And I wouldn't publicly come out saying nothing, especially advocating for him after what was repeated in court. Hell no. And then you people still want to talk about, oh, he doing his time, leave him alone. Yeah, I think it's time to quit talking about him. Yeah, I agree with that. Quit talking about him. Because I'm tired of bringing updates about what Pookie, Ray Ray, Bubba done said about him. This shit is getting old. Taking pictures of him in the prison. Why? Releasing them to the public. Ooh, he working in the laundry. He working in the library. Good, 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 and good. Don't give a damn about Puffy. Because I know that as soon as you let that rascal out, he gonna be right back out here doing the same damn thing he did to get a federal charges. He don't care. As for 50 Cent, vendetta, revenge, could be, like I said yesterday, that's between him and God. 50 did this documentary for revenge, that's on him. I watched a guy's video today that said, really, allegedly 50 Cent was just a prop. He didn't have no executive control over what was put in the documentary. Allegedly, it wasn't salacious. They didn't put all this other stuff in there that everybody wanted to hear from Gene Deal and other people. So she wanted a cleaner version of Puffy's wrongdoing. Do you understand what I'm saying? But either way, his lawyers and Puffy didn't want nothing talked about, especially with the lawyer business being him having that guy recording him. That's Puffy's dumb ass because he likes to be seen. And if you didn't pay for that information, then the videographer can keep it. It's called even exchange. I give you an amount of what I'm charging. You're supposed to pay me. I give you the information. You don't pay, I don't give up the goods. So what I do with it is my business. That's why you need to have an understanding when you're doing photos, photography. And what are you doing with the negatives? What are you doing with this information I'm putting on a recording? You need to know all those things. Then we got people talking about today on YouTube how bad it looks for Puffy's lawyers. They got to be upset that it was recorded and how he talked to them and they didn't know it was being recorded. The lawyers didn't know when he was talking to him. Well, they now know they were recorded. Puffy was recording. And then they said on TMZ, well, he had to feel ashamed. He had to feel some type of way because that same lawyer got him off on those charges. And he did. Because Puffy knew he looked bad to the media, to the public. But this is how I look at it. You knew what you were doing and eventually would come to light. So what were you mad about? You mad because you were caught. And the government decided to take you to court. You wasn't expecting all that shit you were doing behind closed doors to ever make it to the light of day. Just like that tape with him beating Cassie. I'm surprised it stayed underground as long as it did. That's why you know money can buy silence. Because that person could have made probably $1 million more just on that video. And the fact it was only a $30,000 fee, but somebody kept it. And the world saw it last spring. Or spring of 24. Because God wanted it out. And you think about that. Cassie could have told it. The people at the hotel could have told it. They never shared it with the world until years later. You don't find that strange? Hell no, he didn't want that tape released. And just like a lot of people said, Puffy could have went down for more things, but the district attorney did not try him for physical abuse of that girl. Racketeering, a lot of people don't really know what racketeering is. You look it up in a dictionary. Anytime you are using other people and coercing people, that is a form of racketeering. That is a form of racketeering. Getting in cahoots with people to blackmail, coerce people. Well, they did that when they went to Kid Cudi's house. But somehow these 12 members of the jury could not see that incident as coercion. But the people testified in court and told you they went over there to the house. More than 2 people went over there. That's coercion. That's a form of racketeering. But I guess they couldn't see it done every day with Sean and other entities. But see, that's the whole point. You don't know what the fuck he was doing with these bodyguards and other people and paying people to do something. You know a motherfucker went over there and tampered with that boy's car. How did the roof get cut onto the car? How did the cocktail get stuck in the door handle and all that? Come on, let's stop this bullshit. Call a spade a spade. He got off lucky. Because frankly, if Sean has done what he has been accused of, meddling with children, drugging people, he should be locked away for life. And those are what they have in those civil suits. Young boys who were minors who went to visit him to talk about music and learn the music industry. They are saying as adults, he touched them inappropriately and had sex with them. And I won't doubt that some of that is true. And even that Justin Bieber nonsense and all of that, those people are never going to come forward and say, I was penetrated by this grown black ass man. Who wants to tell that? What white boy wants to tell as a man he was penetrated by a black man and he's also famous? Why would he want people to know that? He'll take that secret to the grave. And you can't make Justin Bieber or anybody tell that they had sex with Sean or was RAPE by him. Because in the end, it is RAPE. It's not sex. It is not sex with a child. It is RAPE. There are many people who have stories about Sean Combs, and I'm sure they are not positive. And all of it deals with sex. Have you noticed that? Coercion, sex, filming, stealing of money, defrauding of money, threats, and violence. What are the odds all these entities that have dealt with Sean Combs have the same damn story? Hello, Lala. Oh, Lord have mercy. Here we go. Will any of these people who are suing Sean get a payday? Because there are a lot of lawsuits. There were like over 125 lawsuits on the books. And I don't know if any of these people are ever going to get paid. And I wish a lot of these people would have came forward and told their stories as soon as they happened. Naturally, Sean would have paid them off so they would stay quiet, have them sign an NDA. But he's dirty. Cassie's mom told that story, blackmailing her for money, $30,000, because he gave Cassie some money or bought her things, and now he wanted a payback because she moved on. Tough luck. People buy gifts for people all the time. And sometimes you cannot get nothing back in repayment when you're with them or when you break up with them. That's life. That's money you spent. Can't get it back. But that goes to show you what type of person Sean Puffy Combs is. He's revengeful. He's a sadist. He's a manipulator. He's a con artist. And anybody that deals with him is going to know this. And I believe his children know who he is. They just don't want to tell they don't want to tell the public. Yeah, I know my daddy is a low down motherfucker. They'll never tell it. And as I told you in the previous commentary, I won't doubt that he's touched his children. This is what people need to understand about a sadist. Old habits die hard. He's been a sadist probably since being a child or teenager. This is where he has learned this dirty, nasty behavior. I won't doubt that he has been touched by an adult or another child. That's what happened to R. Kelly, and he became an offender as an adult. Most offenders were touched as children, violated. And if it is true that Janice had all type of riffraff running around in her house, that's probably how he got touched. I won't doubt that Janice probably was touching her son. Come on with it, Queen. And nobody wants to grow up to be a child molester or rapist. Why would you want to be that? Of course not. That's why you go seek help. I like little kids. I like touching kids. I dream about kids. You need to see a therapist. This is some deep SHIT. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was watching a video late this morning of a guy and a girl who are Black. They're no longer living. And they went to social media telling all their personal business. I want everyone to listen very carefully to what I'm saying to you, because this is similar to this bullshit here. Thank you, Lisa. So sweet. They aired their business on a live stream. The young guy was locked up in penitentiary, and he met the young lady as a corrections officer. She no longer worked there. She worked for Hyundai down in Georgia. Long story short, they went live telling all their business, arguing back and forth about who did what. He was telling people that she had some sores on her buttocks, inside her buttocks, and it was herpes. Went to the doctor, found out. They're both telling all this on the live stream. And then she mentioned something about a guy. He got upset, obviously, thinking she was going to tell all that business about this guy who was his best friend who was murdered. Long story short, all this came out on social media. He ended up beating her. She died on the floor, and he went up the highway an hour and unalived himself. You see, you have to be careful with putting your business out there on the street, because there will be repercussions of telling things, okay? As I have shared with you all things on this network, I have not told you the people's names of things I have shared that are true stories of my perception, but you should know that there'll be repercussions if I tell a name. The person could sue me. Do you understand? Because that's the world we live in. And I don't agree with what these two people did, putting their business out She got a venereal disease. She was cheating on him. He was cheating on her. That's all the live stream was about. And it was sad. Then other relatives jumped in to tell their version of what they witnessed on the live stream and what they thought he was saying and she was saying. It just went on. And both of these people are dead. And it was sad listening to this cousin, this person, this brother. Everybody had something to say thereafter. Even one cousin was saying, oh, he was going to die anyway because we already knew that somebody murdered my cousin, and I believe it was somebody close to him. And that's the reason why he unalived himself, see? And there's a reason why the girlfriend mentioned that dead man's name in her live stream, but she cut it short and didn't say nothing more about it. So that led people to believe, okay, why was she mentioning his name? You see how deep the pot can go when you start talking and telling shit? That's no different than what's going on here. Cassie telling her truth, allegedly, in the court of law, and now she's being sued by a sex worker. She had to have known this was going to happen to her as well. You telling the court you got diseases and shit in the court. Now, any man that ever had sex with you can now come forward and sue you and say, oh, I got herpes, I got syphilis, I got gonorrhea. Cassie gave it to me. Well, if you're going to sue Cassie, you got to sue Sean too, because she was sleeping with Sean. Come on with it. You people ain't woke. How you gonna have one without the other? They were a package deal when you was out there showing your ding-ding and being filmed and didn't know you were being filmed. You ought to sue Sean for that. He's the one running the camera. Well, sue his ass too. Hey, I was filmed without my knowledge. There's sex tapes of me floating around, and the federal government, they got them tapes. And you know they had to watch. That's why we heard about the boy in the video. And News Nation told you they would never tell you who they thought the boy is in those tapes. Come on with it, Queen. And that's when people start speculating about Justin Bieber. This is bad. Ain't no telling how many people Sean has taped. So there are repercussions of that hanky-panky behind closed doors and taping people without their knowledge, Sean. And hell yeah, they need to sue your black ass. Because you were wrong to be suing people without their knowledge. And where are those tapes? See, this is deep. This Sean Puffy Combs nonsense. Because there are tapes out there with people in them turning tricks and cartwheels with one another. He deserves more time. And you 12 members of a jury couldn't see that. And I get it. You're only supposed to give the rendering according to the information. But that fool gonna be let go again. And sadly, somebody gonna be just as weak-minded and jump right back in the pot with Sean and get their ass in some drama with him. If you see him on the street anywhere when he's free, leave his ass alone. Don't talk to him, don't write him, don't get in the car with him, don't do nothing. Or you're gonna end up just like these folks, Cassie, Kirk, and all these other motherfuckers. You'll be bringing that on yourself. This is why I tell you, you got to know when to fold when you're dealing with a fool. I know I'm a living witness. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm telling you, you got to know when to leave sick folks alone. I got my own stories. I have shared them with you in the shorts without going live and telling you everything that I dealt with here recently. I could go live and tell it. I really don't want to tell it because I got to have somewhere to sleep my damn self. And I don't want the repercussions to fall back on me. Do you understand? You need to know when you're dealing with a fool. You know you don't get high on drugs. Let me make this clear before I jump off here. You know you don't get high on drugs. Don't fool with people that use them. Sell them either. They in the hanky-panky. They in the porn. You don't like porn? Don't engage. You thinking they want to film you? You going to their house, you don't really know what's going on? You probably don't need to have sex with them there. You see, you could end up one of these stories. Many men and women have. Then they gotta go hire a lawyer and take them to court and sue. Because now people come back saying, oh, I saw you in a video. I saw you giving head to this dude. And some of the stupid women, they go along and get filmed. I don't recommend you doing that. I don't care if it's your boyfriend or hookup, your husband. Do not do porn with your partner. And then you got people actually filming themselves, masturbating and being in the porn videos. You're a fool. I don't give a fuck you try to make money. You better find another way to make some money. You got kids, you got family, you got a mom and a daddy. You want people to stumble across you having sex with your partner? You touching yourself, masturbating? What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't do it. Don't accept dick pics, boobs, nothing. Because you don't know where that information ends up. And people like to screenshot stuff. This is why you have to be very careful who you talk to, who you let in your company. Or you'll end up just like these folks here. Because this type of behavior is going on, honey. Sean ain't the only person out here doing this. I just saw a video late this morning, this morning when I got up, or this afternoon, where some black guy held some women hostage out there in LA during the fires in RAPE, okay? I don't even know who this black man is. And I saw it today in the news break. California burning down. He up here sexually assaulting women in his house and holding them hostage. See, it takes all kinds. You better know who you're dealing with. Let me tell you something. Queen has learned a lot of things as of late about the human spirit. I have dealt with some ugliness recently dealing with men. And when I mean ugly, I mean ugly. They're just dogs. Rabid dogs. They don't care about themselves. So you can't care about you. You can't care about Angela. And I'm speaking my piece because somebody needs to hear it. Ain't nothing you can wish bad for Queen. You doing this P. Diddy shit your damn self. Want to sit up and act like you're a grand manipulator, you a fraudster, a liar, thief, all of that. Ain't nothing you can bring bad to me, baby. Because I'm at peace with what I'm doing. I'm in my lane and I'm minding my damn business. As it's in the scripture. No weapon formed against thee shall prosper. What I got going on with God, and I'm good. Because as they say, he's the only one that can judge me and everybody else. And yes, I make this commentary, I'm giving my opinion. You don't have to like it, you don't have to agree. It is just commentary. But the things that have been done by this joker, they are salacious and they are wrong. And if you are in agreement with Sean Puffy Combs, you need to have your own head checked. As for you black folks saying we shouldn't be talking about him or Bill Cosby or whomever because they black, I don't give a fuck what color you are. You out here messing with folks' children and sexually assaulting people. I don't give a damn if you're Arab, Jew, black, Mexican. I don't care. You wrong. You see, that's what's wrong with a lot of black folks. You don't tell me who the fuck I can talk about. Because if it was me, you'd talk about me. Hell you mean? Oh, you bringing the black man down. You shouldn't be saying nothing. I remember some black guy saying to me a few years ago, I don't really like that type of commentary. Oh, I was out at my little wing spot on Wednesday nights. And he was like, I don't believe in talking bad about black men and what they've done and da-da-da-da-da. We already talked. A lot of white folks don't like black people anyway. Why put that type of commentary in your videos? You're just making it bad for black men. fuck am I making it bad for black men? I ain't told you to go out here and rape no kids. Excuse me, Lord. Ooh, you two gonna get me. I ain't told you to go out here and seduce children. I ain't told you to go out here and rob and people. I ain't told you to go out here and have sex parties and film people and blackmail them. I ain't told you to go out here and beat up no woman and drag her by her hair and damn near scalp her ball. And I didn't tell you to hold these secrets that made it to the news desk and you got arrested. What that got to do with Queen? You don't tell me how to think. You don't tell me what to say. You don't tell me what to put in a video. You don't tell me what opinion I can have. It's the news. Because that is the whole point. Had these folks been minding their damn business, it would not be a news story and an arrest record. So you go out here and do foolishness and the macabre, and you get an arrest, you brought up on suspicion of a crime, it makes the news. That is free information. And people do with it what they want. And I don't have that type of ideology. I know I live in a white man's world, white society. And I know that my race commits crimes. What they got to do with Queen? I want to talk about it. I will. But I'm not going to uphold nobody black that's out here stealing the cookie or nookie or anything else from a man, woman, or child. So if you a Jew and doing it, I'll talk about it. You Hispanic, I'll talk about it. I don't rock like that. And if you were related to me, I'll talk about it. Because wrong is wrong. And that's what's wrong with a lot of us. We're upholding people because of a race or a political party or their family member or who you went to school with them or it's a family member. Who gives a fuck? Tell that bullshit to the victim. I'm sorry, but not sorry. I'm sorry my brother assaulted you. Oh, but I'm not sorry, it's my brother. You can't walk that man or woman's journey, child's journey. Or you can't tell them how to feel. And that's what's wrong with this Puffy nonsense. He has no remorse for what he has done to man, woman, and child. Don't you get it? He don't care. So all you motherfuckers walking around here upholding him, knock yourself out. I wouldn't even talk to you. And even when I'm out here in the street and I bring up conversations and, I tell people I'm a YouTuber or whatever, and then they ask me, well, what do you talk about? And I might mention it, or I might say, hey, what do you think about this subject matter? And as soon as they get that, acting like they want to uphold these freaks, I don't even continue talking. I ain't going to argue with you about no sadists. That's Queen, baby. And if you follow me for years on this network, you already know how I rock. I'm not going to argue with you about nobody sexually assaulting no human being. Because that's the energy I'm putting out to the universe, that I'm down with that, and I'm not. So if that's what you're down with, that's your journey, ain't my journey. And that's what you're seeing circling the globe pertaining to these sadists, people rallying for them. Why? I do not know. Let him do his time. Let him do his time. He locked up. I know he locked up, fool. I'm just bringing an update. Calm down. Hell, you act like you screwing. Marlon Wayans, Misa Hilton. Y'all obviously want to be in the pocket of Puffy. Now you want to cry, I need security, my life threatened, I feel bad. Keep your mouth closed. Ain't nobody told y'all to speak publicly about Sean Puffy Combs. If you weren't running that mouth, you won't need no security. Marlon Wayans, you ain't had to say shit about Puffy. That's your dumb ass talking. Shut the fuck up. Misa, shut up. All you kids, be quiet. Go live your life. Go live your life. And yes, there are going to be people who don't care for your father. You let them know. I didn't choose Sean Combs as my daddy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got work to do. Keep it moving. But you upholding him publicly, you asking for backlash. It is what it is. Because I'm not going to publicly uphold no sadists. Daddy, mama, brother, sister, hell no. Because you should know there's going to be repercussions for doing that. As someone said to me, karma's an MF. It sure is. That's why you fucking miserable where you at. I am not. God got this little birdie here, honey. Let me say that on this live, because somebody need to hear it, and I hope you listening. God is guiding my journey. I ain't trying to work for the devil because he don't pay you nothing. That's my message today. You live your best life. And when you see that you are surrounded by the enemy, you need to remove yourself because he will surely take you down. And when people are unhappy with themselves, such as this nonsense I've been discussing during this live, they don't mind taking you down in the hole. As I have said on my community page, this nonsense pertaining to Puffy is a hole with no bottom. A hole with no bottom. And sadly, as Lennox said in the chat, how could one person cause this much destruction? Well, he did. And anybody that continue to ride this donkey ride with Sean, that's exactly where you're going to be, in a bottomless hole. Leave that man alone and go live your best life. And that's my advice to you listening to this live stream. If you see somebody that mimics Sean Combs, run like hell. They can't serve no purpose to you and serve you no good. Whatever you did with Sean in the past that was unsavory, ask God to forgive you because he's the only one that can. And move on. I don't wish bad on Cassie, any of these people. But the one thing we all have to remember, you have to accept the role you played with the demon. You got to own that shit. Because if you don't, you'll be right back in this predicament again. And you'll be tangled up with some more drama. And this is the very reason why many of us stay in drama, because we make bad decisions and we don't own the part we play. I own my SHIT. That I have made many mistakes dealing with Satan's spawns and refusing to remove myself and to keep going back in. So like somebody said, how do you expect anything good to come from something bad? Exactly. It can't be good. Why is it going to change? It's not. My mind wants it better. My mind wants the person to change, but they won't. It ain't that they can't. They won't. And that's what's happening with Sean Combs. He likes being Sean, Bad Boy, Diddy, Love Combs. He enjoys that space. He enjoys being in that dirty place. And he don't mind taking you in the abyss with him. And there are others out here just like him. Know your place. And know you don't got to ride the ride with a fool. Don't put your personal business out here on social media. Don't call people names out on social media if they have wronged you. Listen to me carefully now. They have wronged you, done things to you, salacious as this nonsense we're talking about here with this Puffy case. Let God handle it. Let God handle it. Now, if this is a crime, you go into court, you're probably told not to be talking about it on social media. That's probably your best bet. Save the details for court. But don't out nobody. Gay, bisexual, sexual situations, diseases, HIV status, AIDS. Don't do that. Because a lot of people are leaving here by doing these live streams. And I'm sharing this because I saw that video, as I said, and I shared it on my community page. Feel free to go to my community page to listen to that 2-hour nonsense of this Black woman and man arguing back and forth on a live stream, and you're hollering and screaming. There's a baby in the house. It's disgusting. And I could not wait for that video to end because I could not believe how winded it was, how long it took for this guy to get to the point. He couldn't tell the story because she's in the background hollering and screaming, telling him he's a liar, he's a liar. And I told myself, yeah, I know something bad was going to happen on this video. I knew something bad was going to happen because you're putting out dirty business and nothing good was going to come from that. You have to know that. Once you put that shit out there, you can't take it back. And then everybody else chiming in on their live streams about their live streams. You were putting your life at risk as well, cousin. Talking about your dead cousin being unalive. And you got gangster folks in your family that would do something to that guy who ended up killing himself. Well, I said to myself, listen to that garbage. I said, now what if you go into the Piggly Wiggly one day and one of his family members walk up on you and you by yourself? Then what was you gonna do? Exactly. You gotta think before you speak. Because you don't know who's listening to your live stream, your rants, your Facebook posts, IG posts, your comments on the news articles. There is always an eye in the sky. And I got a feeling even with this Puffy nonsense, this reckoning, there's going to be more to come. Because so long as you keep talking about a subject matter, you're just opening up a new can of worms. And somebody may get hurt. And as I said in my live yesterday, Sean needs to be very careful in that penitentiary. Because you may think you have met a few friends on your block, but there's somebody in that New Jersey prison does not like you. Wait a minute, I got a notification about Puffy just now. Hold on one second. Wait a minute, everybody. Dang it. I just got a notification. 50 Cent has just told Marlon Wayans to keep his name out of his mouth. I'll be doing a short on that after this live. This is exactly what I'm saying, see. This Puffy nonsense ain't gonna end. And as I was just saying, Puffy may think he's met a few people in prison that got his back and gonna look after him. They only doing it because of who he is and he got paper. They may supply him whatever he needs in there, but you can best believe there's some people in there that do not like him and don't care for him. And as I've always said about people doing wrong, they look at certain things as wrong as well, whether they're a crook, a thief, or whomever. And the one thing we know is wrong is violating children, women, and men. So Puffy needs to be careful inside of that box. Because you have done some dirt, bruh, to a lot of people. Oh, I believe that. And karma is a bitch. And it may just come back full circle in that box. And we'll be talking about another type of story pertaining to Sean Puffy Combs, if you get my drift. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below this video. Thank you for all my new subscribers, old viewers, new viewers. Hit that like button. Follow me on the Newsbreak app. I've not done any videos over there on that network because there's an issue with the camera. The videos come up dark for some reason, and then it takes forever to upload for some reason. So I'm doing most of my uploading of videos on this network, but I do put up posts over there on Newsbreak. You are welcome to go over there, read the posts, comment. You also get a notification of whenever I comment under an article. So follow me over there. I've got a really healthy following over there. Almost like about 1,000 people are following me over there on the network. You also now can subscribe to my page over there on the Newsbreak. It is also still Default Excel. Take the polls on my community page, comment under the polls, the videos. Watch Gene Deal's video commentary I played during this live with the Art of Dialogue. And also there's another white guy who has a video that I shared. I want you to watch that, because I'm trying not to get, no copyright strikes by playing other people's content. But feel free to go to my community page and check out those videos. Come back to my page and tell me what you think of both videos. Do you believe the commentary in what's been said and the allegations made by others? Give me your opinion of The Reckoning. I've not watched The Reckoning. I'm only getting snippets here and there because I do not have Netflix. But let me know what you think. Do you believe the allegations made? I will say I believe that this woman at 50 Cent gave a cleaner version of Puffy in The Reckoning. That's been said. That a lot of the salaciousness of things he's done, allegations, things Gene Deal has brought forward were not mentioned because Gene Deal backed out. He had a disagreement with the director. That ain't good either. But Gene Deal is his own man. He's got bills to pay and eat like everybody else. So nobody really can judge him for backing out because he wanted money. Because in the end, that documentary is going to bring in God knows how much money, endorsements, and you all are going to get paid, Miss Director. So Gene Deal feels, hell, I want to get paid too. So you can't judge that man for wanting money because you weren't doing that documentary for free your damn self. Come on now. You got bills to pay, mortgage, rent. He is no different. He is no different. That's my commentary. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are welcome during the live. And no, Queen ain't got that Keurig yet. I'm working on it. But I thank you. Once again, I am taking Christmas donations. I don't mind, because as you see, this is a work in progress. I got bills to pay as well. And as I have told you all before in my videos this week, I don't make a lot of money from my content. I've got over 5,000 videos to my name, all mine. And I'd be ashamed to tell you what I make off my videos a month. Every other month, I'm making money. So that should tell you I'm not even meeting the $100 threshold from my content. And some would say, you're wasting your time doing these damn videos. But I've been doing it so long, it's like combing my hair, brushing my teeth. It's what I do. Thank you for following this network. All I can do is pray for these folks because a lot of them need prayer. They need prayer. And I think a lot of these people regret dealing with him, and they had to learn the hard way. And it is no different than regular people out here, because that's really what you need to understand about all these people. Puffy, Gene, Misa, the kids, the mama, Kirk, they are just regular people. They're no different than you and I. And it's time for people to stop putting others on pedestals, because it's in the scripture. You put your faith in man, you will surely be disappointed. Exactly. Stop idolizing people, because you don't know people. And this is why people are disappointed, because they thought they knew the person. You don't know anybody. You don't know anybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you all who are in the chat. Thank you, Lisa, for coming in. Zenobia, thank you all for coming in. You have been listening to the Vault XL. You all have a wonderful week. Happy holidays, everybody. Please be safe. Bye.